Céad Míle Fáilte Rómh, you're very welcome back here again to St Eugene's Cathedral Hall in the wonderful city of Derry, the site of the cathedral for the Diocese of Derry, one of those dioceses, if you're not too aware of it, which is mostly in Northern Ireland, but partly also in County Donegal in the Republic. So we're in two jurisdictions and just a mile or two from the border here. We've been having a number of COVID conversations during Lent, and for the fifth one this evening, we have Lauren and Bethany Doherty, two fabulous young singers, two sisters from the city here who've been involved in music all their lives, as long as they can remember, have been and still are very heavily involved in the music ministry in parishes, are professional musicians in their own time, as that's their way of earning money. And obviously, like many people who are professional entertainers like themselves, and you'll hear them singing at the end and you'll know why they're famous. Like so many entertainers, they have been unable to trade, to carry out their profession and to do what they love doing, sharing their love of music. But I want to welcome you here this evening, Lauren and Bethany.
Thank you.
You're very kind to come along. We'll just look a little bit at who you are and how you've got to where you are at this stage in life, and what the future has been for you, what the future looks like for you.
Yeah.
So you're very much involved in faith, very, very much involved in music ministry and parishes, and tremendous musicians. Where did those talents come from? Was it the family, or did you grow up in a musical household, or?
Daddy would probably say that we all got it from him, but, well, some of it, but I'd say we got our music kind of talents from Mommy's side, possibly. Yeah. Well, a bit of both, I would say.
I think when Mum was younger as well, she was involved in the school shows, and that's how her and Dad met. But as we grew up through even St Anne's Primary School, and then we moved on to St Cecilia's, so we were always involved in music, in school shows, in the choirs, and so yeah, we've grown up in a musical household for sure, and played those instruments, and we just all loved it together.
Well, are your voices your main instruments? Your real forte?
Yeah, well, for me, I can't do anything else, so thank God I can sing. I can play a bit of piano and a bit of percussion, but yeah, I would say my voice is my main instrument. And
did you study music? When you were trained, I take it, by somebody?
Yeah, we did. We actually did our singing grades with Anne-Marie Hickey as well, so we did. And then we were obviously doing GCSE music, A-level music, and then we went on to university and we both studied music, and Lauren done her masters in music, so it was just constant music the whole time. We never really had a plan B, did we?
No, music was always plan A, and thank God it's worked so far.
And what was your masters in then?
My masters was in voice performance, so obviously you can choose composition in any field of music, but mine was voice.
And I presume in your university days too, you would have been involved in quartets or choirs or duos or just people who love music just can't help singing with other people.
Absolutely, it was so handy that we had already kind of set up as a duo when I came along to uni as well. So I was able to just use that, like us two singing as like our performances. And then
was this in Belfast or
just in Derry
here?
Just in Derry, yeah.
Ulster, yeah.
And then we were also involved in the Ulster University Choir, and we had amazing opportunities there as well. We actually went to Carnegie Hall and sung with a big massive choir with composer Paul Mealer. He's a Scottish composer. So we went there as well for Carnegie Hall in Scotland, and we were all over.
That's what I miss most about music as well, is singing with a big choir, because we did it for so many years, and then I did it when I went back and did my masters, so I was involved in the choir in that year as well. So it's something that you miss, like choral music is something that we always grew up with as well. So yeah, I miss that.
And of course Derry is a very musical city. There's a huge just closeness to music. I've been struck by it having come here 7 years ago. You would know there's a big music scene here.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of talented musicians in Derry, like even that we don't know about, but music has always been a thing in Derry. And yeah, I think it's a very musical city, and everyone knows about us. I don't mean us personally, I mean Derry as a musical city.
And they have good choirs. I mean, the schools would so often do very well in school choir of the year competitions.
That was one of the things actually that drew me to go to St Cecilia's. She's the patron saint of music, but the choir was one of the things that why I wanted to go to St Cecilia's, the music and performing arts status at the school. So Yeah.
And were there good teachers there of music particularly, I'm thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
the teachers were very encouraging in the music department at St Cecilia's, so, and they still are now. I haven't been there in ages, but the teachers were definitely a
And
bonus.
that's educational, not just in terms of being the content of a subject, but in terms of the social life of a school and school shows, I imagine. Were you involved in some of those?
We were.
Beth more so than
I. We were always involved in the school shows. We were, what was it, Sound of Music and Little Shop of Horrors and Calamity Jane and stuff like that. Oliver, you were on as well?
Yeah, there was a lot
great
actually
times.
throughout both times at St Cecilia's, but the teachers really made of it too because they enjoyed it, which kind of rubbed off on us. So
they were able to definitely help us hone our craft even more. They could see the potential in all of us and then just pushed us to do whatever, and they always gave us so many opportunities as well. It was amazing.
It's good for self-confidence too, when you're a teenager, when you're 14 or 16. I remember we had school shows at home where you sort of felt you were, wow, this was a place to strut across the stage and think of all the ones that were looking at you. It is good for self-confidence.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it really is. Even at the minute I'm teaching online, and a lot of the students that I teach are around primary 7, first year kind of thing. So their parents would say that it's really bringing them out of their shell. So singing and performing drama really brings people...
Projecting your voice.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
And even just makes the person more confident, because if you're passionate about something, then you'll do it even more, to be even more confident. Like, I would say I'm not overly confident, but I'm getting better at it over my years of performing, like on stage or even a radio interview or even this kind of thing. So the more often you do something, the more you'll get better at it.
I have a sense we have a lot of very good post-primary schools here in this area,
Definitely.
who are proud of their identity. They're proud of the faith background they come from, a strong sense of community in the school.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And Cecilia's won that, was it Times Educational Supplement or the One Show or something?
That's right, yeah. Just
last
UK Post-Primary School of the Year.
yeah.
Amazing.
It was amazing. I had never been at the school when Mrs. Mulhern was at it, but Beth was at the school when she was there.
She was amazing too. She's definitely brought the school just to so many new heights as well that we could never even imagine as well. And like, she's so passionate about the school and bringing it on and just being able to adapt to whatever's going on. Like, especially even this last year as well, she's able to still keep the confidence in the students going and just bring the heart of the school out of them, everybody.
Yes, a sense of community, a sense of pride in your school
Absolutely.
lifts everybody.
Absolutely.
The teachers like to look well and do their best, and the girls want to look well, and so on.
Yeah, it filters through definitely from the teachers right onto the students, and that's how it becomes a really good community and a place that you want to be. Like,
Yeah.
sure.
And it's in the heart of an area which has plenty of social problems.
Oh yeah,
But as a school, you come into the school, high standards from the very start.
Yeah.
that's it.
Well, you've been very much involved in parish music ministry as well. How did that start? Were you dragooned at an early stage?
I think I joined the St Mary's folk group when Mommy was still in it. Years and years. I must have been about 11 maybe when I first started, and then I was only actually learning guitar at the time too, so I was roped into playing the guitar for
So
the
your
folk
mummy
group as
was
well.
involved in the music ministry in the parish?
Oh yeah, definitely as well. She was always in the St Mary's folk group as well. So then we were always just, obviously we were going to mass anyway, so we may as well, and we loved singing, so we were always just toodling behind Mommy. Right? So we were in the folk group since then, and then just kind of growing up, and then we kind of broke off ourselves and done our own thing, and then we started to do weddings and stuff like that, so we were always kind of able to just be able to sing in church and knowing the different kind of songs that we'd need to learn and the hymns and stuff. We had learnt them from a very early age, so it just came so naturally to us then.
And you were part of a group called I Am, which had a number of fabulous concerts.
Yeah, that was amazing.
In the city. I mean, obviously it was for people who had a love of music and also had a love of faith and wanted to share your faith. What are your memories of those wonderful concerts in St Colum's Hall? Part of the audience, we were just bouncing on the floors.
For us, obviously, for me, I think over the past year even, I've found that there's so many different strands of music. There's teaching, there's performing, and for me, performing is one of them things that I want to do for a very long time. Throughout I Am, my faith grew a lot stronger, just meeting other people from different faiths and not being afraid to open up about your faith. And because to be honest, I was maybe a bit ashamed of like saying that I prayed or even speaking about God or anything like that when I was a bit younger. But through my time with I Am, we like travelled to Germany and America and things like that. But you meet other different people, and just them and being so open about it, I was like, right, I'm going to give this a go, you know. And that's where my confidence grew in my faith now as well. I'm not as ashamed to talk about it anymore, and I'm more confident in just even saying to someone like, you wouldn't say a prayer for me, like even that in the past I would be like, I'm not going to ask her or whatever. I would say like, you wouldn't say a prayer for such and such, and just being open to receiving God.
For sure.
So, yeah.
And like being an I Am too, and being able to bring people closer to God through those concerts and through any type of worship that we were doing. Like at the start I was very much like worried about what we sound like, and you know, remembering the words, different stuff like that. But when you're able to just switch that around and be able to realise that you're actually praying, like through your music you're able to use it as a prayer, and then be able to bring people closer to God through your music as well. It's just like the ultimate gift that we were able to give, so it was amazing.
And obviously you learnt a lot of new music, stuff that you hadn't been doing in parish folk groups.
For sure, yeah.
Through the folk group and stuff, like even Tarnhill folk group we were involved in, and St Mary's, it was a lot of traditional stuff. But through I Am, we always listened to the likes of Hillsong, which is like American worship music, and it's just a lot. It's a fresh look at Christian music. So yeah, through I Am as well, we did figure out a lot of new and fresh worship that we now bring to Mass when we sing on a Saturday evening.
I remember the professionalism that I Am had, in terms of lighting, a substantial number of backing players, who were obviously local quality musicians, and whatever you call the smoky stuff.
Yeah, we always kind of...
you did very professionally, that's what I remember.
Yeah, well, as you say, there was 4 of us, so we each had like a different personality, we had different strengths, and for Mary Therese in particular, she was really good at organising and events and things like that. So she would say, let's book the biggest venue and get the best light man. And we were thinking, oh, what if nobody comes? Like, what if we can't pay for this? And she was like, no, have faith, it'll happen. And it did. So we
it's
really
just trying to put the best show on for Jesus, and it was all for Jesus the entire time. Absolutely,
people loved it.
It was definitely a need. We kind of realised that people did need that kind of fresh outlook or fresh music, and to bring them back to their faith maybe, or to bring them in general initially.
There was kind of nothing like that, I don't think, in Derry at the time, and our first concert was on an Easter Sunday.
Yes.
And
it was actually just after the Buncrana tragedy as well.
Yeah, all those years ago.
5 years ago.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So there was a lot of...
I think our first concert was Easter Sunday, and we were like, do you put on a Sunday, like an Easter Sunday concert? Like, are people going to show up? People have their own thing to do. They go away down to Donegal or whatever. So we were like, no, we'll just take the bull by the horns and do Easter Sunday, and it happened. And the crowds that we had at the concerts was very, like every time we came out on stage, we didn't know how many tickets we'd sold and was it going to be a hit or whatever. So every time we came out on stage, we were quite surprised and shocked, but we loved it at the same time, do you know what I mean? So we were getting such a great response from the audience, and yeah, I really, really
enjoyed it. And they weren't all members of your family, certainly.
They weren't, surprisingly not.
I know at least your mum was probably a member of a large family.
Yeah, she was, for sure.
She had all her seats reserved for all the clan. She was always there early, but no, we had a great family and friends response, so it was really great.
Well, what's it been like during the lockdown? Not being able to do what you love doing and what you feel really is your calling in life.
It has been quite quiet.
I know, it's strange.
But we've been, so obviously most of our kind of work would be from weddings, and we obviously sing at Mass every week and stuff as well, but we would do weddings and then we would teach as well, and normally the children would come to the house, but obviously that had to stop through COVID, so we had to go online then. So we've been teaching online and then still singing at Mass, thankfully. We were able to still go into the church, which was quite weird at the start when it was just like the priest and then us two. But yeah,
you find that a blessing?
Absolutely. That's been such a blessing, especially recently as well. Our dad was diagnosed with cancer as well, so it's just been like we need Jesus more than ever, and we need prayer, and we need the Eucharist more than ever as well. So we've just found out a major blessing, like being able to go to Mass every week still, and when we know so many thousands can't, we're just seeing that as such a blessing that we're still able to pray and still able to go to the chapel. And
because even last year, when I think it's a year, is it today, since the whole pandemic, even so people, obviously the chapel was closed for Easter, and we went down on Good Friday to do it, because for the first few weeks we were obviously watching the Sunday Mass in the house and sitting in my pyjamas with a cup of tea, and I was looking around me when the homily was on, or different things like that, so it just wasn't the same. And I thought, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do this for. But then when we were contacted to do like Easter services and stuff, we just did the Saturday night masses, so it was kind of a bit of a routine of some sort for us to kind of do the Saturday evening masses, so we were definitely blessed that way.
Obviously, you know the blessing you've been for so many people. I mean, music does lift the liturgy.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's one thing to have a wordy liturgy, but silence and music is so important. I mean, and you were a blessing on so many.
Yeah. Absolutely. We would often get messages from people who maybe were listening in, and they were like, that has just heightened my prayer that on that whole Mass and stuff, and that's the kind of stuff that we would strive to have every week, and just be able to bring people closer through music and through the gifts that we've been given as musicians.
You're
as well.
helping people to pray. You're not just there showing off.
Absolutely not. That would be
I know that from hearing you and seeing you.
Definitely. I think even if I go to something and there's no music, I kind of think, wish there was music, because it does enhance it just that wee bit better, even though it adds, I think, 10 or 15 minutes on the normal Mass, but I don't care about that. So.
But I would try and always sing the Alleluia, for example, before the Gospel, a little thing, or the Great Amen, if you have read them. You can add little bits of music during the Mass, which sort of lift it somehow or other. I think both for the musicians and the celebrant, and clearly for people who are listening as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, have you composed much yourselves?
We kind of dabble away at different writing and stuff. We did actually release a song with Paul Casey, a local musician as well, called Photographs. That was for in memory of our mum.
Yes, who died about 2 years?
Yeah, coming up on 2 years in May. But we were able to collaborate with Paul on a song called Photographs as well, and then Lauren's been able to write a wee bit too.
I've been writing, I think, over the past year as well with the whole lockdown and stuff. We sat in the room one day and we were like, right, let's just write down, let's just pick a theme and we'll go off and we'll write separately to see what we kind of come up with. And we both have different writing styles, which is kind of interesting. But within the past year as well, I've been working alongside Paul Casey. We're kind of did a duo called Amber Light, so it's a lot of original stuff as well. And I think just being more open to writing down how you feel on paper and just wearing your heart on your sleeve basically is something that I'm growing in, let's just say. But I have a few original songs out.
And you can communicate things in music that you can't communicate just in words.
That's true,
for sure.
And any plans or hopes for the next 12 months or 18 months? I mean, is there something you would love to do once the whole lockdown thing is over?
I think for me personally, I think I took for granted even the weddings that we would have. Music's so uncertain, and some months we could have 5 or 6 weddings and a gig and I don't know, whatever, and then the next month we would have nothing. So I think for me, I really can't wait to get back performing live, whether that be at gigs or at a wedding or pre-reception or things like that. So I can't wait to get back performing live and in the studio as well, just
to record some stuff.
That's what I miss.
We've been doing a wee bit of home recording at the minute, but it's kind of dodgy.
It's not quite the same.
It's not quite, no. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to finish off with a song. Tell us about the song before we ask you to sing it. What's it called?
So it's called Peace in This House. It's by Winona Judd. We actually done a cover of it on our Facebook page this time last year, just when the pandemic was starting, and we think it's a lovely message for everyone, what everyone's going through right now, and even a year later we're still kind of hoping the same kind of thing for the same message. So it's called Peace in This House.
Yeah, and I suppose you're singing it in a town that has known war and peace. and know how precious peace is, whether it's peace in
Absolutely.
people's hearts or people's streets
Yeah.
or in people's homes and so on. Well, Lauren and Bethany, thank you so much for sharing some of your journey, some of your exciting journey and your dreams and hopes for the future. That's the end of our 5th COVID conversation. So I'll hand you over now to Lauren and to Bethany Doherty, who are going to sing Peace to This House. It'll take them a moment or two just to get set up. But thank you so much for being here this evening. It's been a joy to have you. God bless all that you have been doing and continue to do in the diocese here to bring good news to your own peers, to your own contemporaries.
Thank
Bethany,
you.
Lauren,
Thank you, Bishop.
thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much.
Thank you.
We have one more COVID conversation, same time, same place, next week. Bethany and Lauren, thank you so much for being here this evening.
Thank
Take it
you.
away.
Hey kids, turn off the TV. No, I don't want to watch the evening news. Just come on over here, sit down next to me. Let your mama look at you, and your beautiful faces that I want to keep safe as long as I can. I'm telling you right now, there's gonna be peace in this house. There's gonna be peace in this house. Gonna be some tender talking and some sweet little nothing said. Add up to the some things we can't live without. There's gonna be peace in this house. Some belief in this house. Every good thing that ever happens from the inside out. I'm telling you now, there's gonna be peace in this house. Have I told you today that I love you? You're the reason for everything I do. 'Cause sometimes I think the only hope for this world is my love in you, in you and you. So let's all be patient, let's all stay nice, 'cause everyone's gonna get a little slice of this pie. There's gonna be peace in this house. There's gonna be peace in this house. Gonna be some tender talking and some sweet little nothings that add up to the some things we can't live without. There's gonna be peace in this house. Some belief in this house. Every good thing that ever happens from the inside out. I'm telling you now, there's gonna be peace in this house. Every good thing that ever happens from It's gonna be peace.
Amen.